hear me? Hello? Abhay, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So in the previous lecture, we have seen that if limit x tends to fx exists, then uh, it is bounded in some deleted neighborhood of that point. So recall this thing. This we have seen in the earlier lecture. If limit x tends to a fx exists, then f is bounded in some deleted neighborhood of a. So that is, what does this mean? That is, there exists some delta greater than 0 and such that for all x belongs to n star a delta implies modulus of fx is less than k. This result we have proved. Okay. Proof. Anyone have idea of the proof? How we have proved this? See, since this limit exists, let me take this limit to be L. Okay, let me take this limit to be L. Okay, now take epsilon equal to 1 greater than 0. Since this limit is L, there exists some delta greater than 0 such that 0 less than modulus of x minus a less than delta implies fx minus L less than 1. So from this also you can say that modulus of fx minus modulus of L, according to triangle inequality, this is always less than or equal to modulus of fx minus L. Okay, and this fx minus L is less than 1. So now put this together. So by putting this together, I can say that modulus of fx minus modulus of L less than 1. So 1 minus mod L less than f mod fx less than 1 plus mod L. So now look at this. What does this tell us? Simply you can see that if therefore, see, let me say this to be k, and k is positive. Okay? So therefore there exists delta greater than 0, there exists k equal to 1 plus mod L greater than 0, so that if you take x from this is nothing but deleted neighborhood of point P. Okay? This implies that fx is bounded by P. So if limit exists, then f is bounded in some deleted neighborhood of point. Earlier we have proved this result. I have just given the rough idea. Actually, I have given the proof. Now today I want to do this result. This is the statement. If f from x to r is continuous at a belongs to x, now it is continuous at a belongs to x. and fa is not equal to 0 and function is non-zero at that point, then prove that function f keeps the same sign in some neighborhood of point A. That is, what does this mean? F keeps same sign in some neighborhood of A. That is, there exists some delta greater than 0 such that for all x belongs to this neighborhood implies fx greater than 0 or fx less than 0. Only one of these is possible. There doesn't exist x1 and x2 in this neighborhood for which one is positive and one is negative. If it is positive, then all the points from this neighborhood f takes positive value, and if one point is negative, then for all point f takes negative value in this neighborhood. So this is the beauty of the result. F keeps same sign in the neighborhood of that point. So we can find out at least one neighborhood for which f is positive for all points from that neighborhood. So it possesses the same property in the neighborhood. So here I have given the continuity at A and function has non-zero value at point A. So now let's prove the result. So proof. Already we have proved this result. We have proved that if limit x tends to a fx equal to L, this limit exists. Okay, and suppose L is greater than 0. L is positive. Okay, then there exists delta greater than 0 such that for all x belongs to n star A delta, there exists some deleted neighborhood of A for which fx takes positive values, positive sign. Already we have proved this result. Okay? So if this limit exists, then we can find out some delta for which if your x is in from this deleted neighborhood of A, f takes positive value. Okay, so already we have proved this. You can see from the previous lecture. So we will use this result here. Now here we have given that f is continuous at point A. What does this mean? What is limit x tends to A fx? What is the value of this limit? Abhay, tell me. What is the limit of this value? What is the value of the limit? Sorry.
F of A.
Yes, f of A. Now notice that we have given that since fa is non-zero, it is given that. Look at this statement. Fa is non-zero, so there are two possibilities according to trichotomy law. Either this is positive or it is negative. Since fa is non-zero, fa greater than 0 or fa less than 0. So let me consider the first case. Suppose fa is positive. So what does this mean? Now look at this. Let me say this to be 1. Therefore, by 1 you can say that limit x tends to a, fx is positive. Okay. Now let me say this to be a. Therefore, by a, there exists some delta greater than 0 such that for every x belongs to n star a delta, this implies that fx greater than 0. Okay. According to this result, you can find out. Okay. Already see, what does this mean? If your x from this neighborhood, fx is always positive. And here we want to show that x from n a delta implies fx is positive. Okay, so here I have excluded one point. Which point I have excluded from this neighborhood n a delta? Can you tell me? Okay, just one point is
Point A.
a. Okay, so except a, f takes positive value, so I only need to show that fa is positive, but already we have assumed that fa is do you understand? Therefore, for L x belongs to n a delta implies fx greater than 0. So this case is done. Now let's consider second case, case 2, f of a less than 0. Okay, f of a less than 0, and therefore what can you say about minus fa? It is greater than 0. Clear? What is limit x tends to a fx? This is f of a. This implies that limit x tends to a minus fx is equal to minus f of a. Do you understand? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now minus fa is positive. So by case 1, there exists some delta greater than 0 such that for all x belongs to na delta implies this is positive. So this implies that what can you say about fx? Fx is negative. So therefore there exists some delta greater than 0 such that for every x belongs to na delta implies that fx is negative. So clear? So in both the cases fx keeps the same sign. ऐसा नहीं होगा कि एक पॉइंट पे पॉजिटिव होगा और एक पॉइंट पे नेगेटिव होगा और वो दोनों पॉइंट है वो सेम नेबरहुड में होगा. दिस कैन नेवर हैपन. दिस इज द इम्पोर्टेंट रिजल्ट. नाउ let me put the next result. This is a very important. What does it tells us? Prove that every continuous function on a closed interval is bounded. This is a very important result. Continuous function on a closed interval is bounded. Okay. It is also important for examination. So let me take f from closed interval AB to R be continuous function, then prove that f is bounded function. Or you can state in this way, or many times also they ask in this way, prove that every continuous function on closed interval AB is bounded. तो अगर इस हिसाब से पूछते हैं, ऐसे पूछते हैं कि प्रूव दैट एवरी कंटिन्यूअस फंक्शन ऑन ए बी इज बाउंडेड, सो यू शुड टेक लेट एफ फ्रॉम ए बी टू आर बी ए कंटिन्यूअस फंक्शन. तो यहाँ से आपको स्टार्ट करना है. So here we have given that f from AB to R is continuous. What is my claim? What I want to show? F is bounded function. This is my claim. So what does this mean? That is, when I can say that f is bounded, there exists some k greater than 0 such that for all in terms of quantifier you can write in this way. Exists some k greater than 0 such that for all x from closed interval AB, modulus of fx less than or equal to k. So this is our claim. So suppose if possible, we will prove this by contradiction. Okay. Suppose if possible, f is not bounded. So see, this is the strategy. Let me first show you the strategy, how we prove this result. Suppose f is not bounded. What does this mean? So we should negate this statement. For every k greater than 0, there exists some x in AB such that fx is quantifier fx greater than k. Clear? So I can find out some point corresponding to all k. So let me take k equal to 1 upon n. This is positive. According to this, there exists some xn from AB such that what can you say about f of xn? F of xn is always 1 greater than 1 by n, isn't it? Do you understand? Abhay, understand? Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Fine. So corresponding to k equal to 1 upon n, we can find out xn in AB so that this happens. Fine. Now, xn is a sequence in AB. So xn is a bounded sequence. What is upper bound for xn? Xn less than or equal to a, and a less than or equal to xn. Therefore, by Bolzano-Weierstrass theorem, xn has a convergent subsequence say xn k. So xn k is a convergent subsequence of sequence xn. Okay, so let me take limit of xn k to be x. as k tends to infinity. Okay. Now look at this statement. F is a continuous function. It is given that f is continuous. So we have seen one result that if f is continuous on AB, so it is continuous on every point in this interval. So in particular, it is continuous at x also. Already we have proved one result. If f is continuous at A, then for every sequence xn such that xn tends to A and xn is not equal to A, implies f of xn sequence tends to f of A. Okay, so according to that result, since f is continuous, what can you say about f of x and k? Limit of f of x and k. What is the limit of the sequence? This is also convergent, and what is the limit of this sequence? Abhay. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Already we have proved that every convergent, so fx and k is convergent since its limits exist, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
And every convergent sequence is bounded. Which is a contradiction. What does this mean? Therefore, there exists some m greater than 0, so that f of x and k less than or equal to m for all k belongs to n, which is a contradiction to 1. See, f x n is greater than 1 upon n, and here I am saying that f of x and k can be bounded by m. So this contradiction arises due to our wrong assumption. Already we have assumed wrong thing, that f is not bounded. Therefore, we can say that f is bounded now. Clear? So this is the idea of the proof. So let me just this is the strategy of the proof. Now let's write down in detail. Suppose if possible f is not bounded, what does this mean? Therefore, for every k greater than 0, there exists x in AB such that modulus of fx is greater than k. Okay, so in particular, for k equal to 1 by n, there exists xn from AB okay. So now we get a sequence therefore xn is a bounded sequence. Therefore, by Bolzano-Weierstrass theorem, Xn must have convergent subsequence, say Xnk. So let me take limit as k tends to infinity, Xnk equal to x. Since f from AB to R is continuous, f is continuous at x, therefore limit k tends to infinity, f of x and k, this has limit f of x, or you can say that sequence f of x and k is bounded sequence or is convergent sequence. Since every convergent sequence is bounded, f of x and k is bounded. Which is a contradiction to one, that can't be bounded. Therefore, our assumption must be wrong. Therefore, we can say that f is bounded on AB. So this completes the proof. So this is also known as Weierstrass theorem. So every continuous function on closed interval is bounded. So actually there are 3 to 4 results on closed interval. So the first one is this result: every continuous function on closed interval AB is bounded. Second one is known as extreme value theorem. It tells us that every continuous function on closed interval attains its bound. This is known as extreme value theorem. And the third one is intermediate value theorem. It is also important. What does it tell us? Suppose f from closed interval AB to R is continuous function, and capital M is supremum of fx and small m is infimum of fx, then f takes every value between supremum and infimum. That is, if you take any point C between small m and capital M, then always you can find out some x1 from AB such that f of x1 equal to C. So this is known as intermediate value theorem. So this is the third one. And the fourth one is this: every continuous function on closed interval AB is uniformly continuous. तो 4 रिजल्ट है क्लोज इंटरवल AB पे, चारों के 4 इंपॉर्टेंट है. ये पहला हमने प्रूव कर दिया. The first one we have proved. Now we will go for second one. It tells us that every continuous function on closed interval AB attains its bound or attains its supremum and infimum. It is also known as extreme value theorem. So many times they asked in the examination that state and prove extreme value theorem. So first you should provide statement of the theorem and then you should give the proof of the theorem. So now we will go for extreme value theorem. State and prove extreme value theorem. Okay, so what does it tells us? Every continuous function let me write down in detail. State and prove extreme value theorem. Extreme means either maximum or minimum. Extreme value optimize. Extreme and optimize are synonyms. Optimize means either maximum or minimum. Optimization problem LPP में आ रहा है ना, optimization of objective function. That is either you should maximize or you should minimize. Let f from AB to R be a continuous function. Then f attains its bounds in rough sense. Let me appropriate. Let me write down the proper exact टेक्स्ट बुक में कैसे लिखा है इसे मैं आपको लिख के बताता हूँ. So proof is very simple. Proof ऐसी कुछ डिफिकल्ट नहीं है, लेकिन ये यूजफुल बहुत है रिजल्ट. F attains its maximum and minimum. Let us see the proof of the result. So here I have given that f from closed interval AB to R is a continuous function. What is my claim? First of all, I should write my claim, what I want to show. By the way, see, f is continuous on closed interval. So by this result, you can say that it is bounded. Abhay, Vaibhav.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So therefore, by previous result, therefore, there exists some m greater than 0 such that modulus of fx less than or equal to m for every x belongs to this closed interval AB. Clear? Do you understand why I have written this by previous result? Okay. Now I want to show that f attains its maximum. What does this mean? Here I want to show that, what is my claim? First we show that f attains its maximum. What does it mean? That is, there exists some number from this closed interval. Let us say C belongs to AB, such that f of C equal to m. I want to prove this. Do you understand this? M is, or let me say, f is bounded. Okay. F is bounded, therefore its supremum exists. F hence its maximum. Let me first erase this thing. Now see, look at this, and let me here put say K. I will use M for maximum or supremum. Sorry. F is bounded, so actually no need to write this. F is bounded. F is bounded, subset of R. Since F is a mapping from where to where? F is a mapping from closed interval AB to R. It is continuous. Therefore, by previous result, F is bounded, subset of R, and R has LUB property. Therefore, supremum of Fx exists in R. So let me take its supremum to be M. Now I want to show that F attains its maximum. Okay, so that is that since M is supremum, what can you say about modulus of Fx? This is always less than or equal to M. Now I want to show that F attains its maximum. What does it mean? I should find some element from AB so that Fx equal to M. ये समझ में आ रहा है? Abhay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So suppose if possible, again we prove by contradiction. There doesn't exist any C from AB such that f of C equal to capital M. What does this mean? Therefore, modulus of Fx strictly less than capital M for all x in, क्योंकि ये f of C तो M हो नहीं रहा है कोई भी C के लिए, ठीक है. अगर ये होता तो mod of f of C क्या हो जाता, mod M, बट M तो पॉजिटिव है. समझ में आ रहा है व्हाट ये उसका मतलब क्या हुआ?
Yes, sir.
So Fx is less than M for all x in AB. So therefore, what can you say about M minus Fx? So this is positive. This cannot be 0. Okay. Now define function g. Now let me define g from where to where? Close interval AB to R as gx is nothing but 1 upon M minus Fx. So now what can you say about continuity of g? Is G continuous? Abhay, I am asking you a question now. Why this makes sense? Why this G is well defined? First of all, we should define well definedness of function G. Okay, so G cannot be infinity for any point of x. So why G is well defined? My first question is this: why G is well defined, or why G makes sense? This is the first question. Second question is this: is G continuous? Abhay, I have asked two questions. First one is this: is G make sense? The second one is G continuous? Abhay, please.
Yes,
I
sir.
want answer.
Yeah, पहला question yes, it makes sense.
Yeah?
पहला question answer yes, it makes sense.
Well defined. Why G is well defined? See, we can say that G makes sense only if this denominator is non-zero. But from this,
Yes,
denominator is always positive, so this can never be zero. So this makes sense. Or G is well defined. So corresponding to each
well,
x, you can find out fx and m minus fx and 1 upon m minus fx. So x goes to 1 upon m minus f is a well defined function. Clearly, since m minus fx okay. Now the second question is this: why G continuous? Now I am saying that G is continuous. What is the reason behind this? Why I can say that G is continuous function on closed interval AB? Abhay,
sir.
if f is continuous, G is continuous, what can you say about f plus G?
F plus G is also continuous.
Yes. Why it is continuous? Because we know the algebra of limit. Since f is continuous, let us say f is continuous at a, therefore limit x tends to a, fx is equal to, suppose f is continuous at a, then this limit is f of a as x tends to a. Let us take another function gx. This is limit is ga as x tends to a. Now what is limit of fx plus gx? We know the algebra of limit. When I can say that this is continuous, if this limit is fa plus ga, but by algebra of limit of fx plus gx is limit of fx plus limit of gx, and limit of fx is just fa and limit of gx is just ga. Therefore the limit of fx plus gx is f of a plus g of a. Or in other words, I can say that sum of two continuous function is continuous, product of two continuous function is continuous, division of two continuous function is continuous, provided the function which is given in denominator should be non-zero. And yes, subtraction of two continuous function is continuous. Okay, so due to this result, now can you say please why G is continuous? F is already given continuous. F मुझे दिया हुआ है continuous. ठीक है, तो माइनस एफ भी कंटिन्यूस होगा. ठीक है, तो m माइनस एफ भी कंटिन्यूस होगा क्योंकि m तो कांस्टेंट है. ठीक है, एंड दिस कैन नेवर बी जीरो. ऑलरेडी आई हैव टेकन this to be positive. Therefore, G is continuous since f from AB to R is continuous. G from AB to R is also continuous. We know that every continuous function on closed interval is bounded. Therefore, G must be bounded. Therefore, there exists some G greater than 0 such that modulus of Gx less than or equal to G for all x belongs to closed interval AB. Therefore, modulus of Gx m minus fx 1 upon. Do you understand? Now
Yes,
I will
sir.
remove this mod because m minus fx is positive. What is the reason? Clear? Now I will bring G this side and clear?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand? Yes. Now bring fx on. Clear? So now can you find out some contradiction? What is M? LUB of fx. LUB means least upper bound. Clear? Upper bound which is least, and m minus 1 by G. This is always less than m. So let me say this to be which contradicts see m minus 1 upon G can never, this fx can never be less than or equal to m minus 1 upon G. This m is the least upper bound. Least upper bound means upper bound which is the smallest one. So m minus 1 upon G is upper bound for fx and this is the least one. So this is a contradiction. समझ में आ रहा है मैं जो बोल रहा हूँ अभय?
हाँ सर.
So therefore our assumption must be wrong. Therefore f attains its maximum. Similarly, one can prove that f attains its minimum. इसमें आउटलाइन क्या होगी प्रूफ की? देखिए, अगर ये 7 मार्क्स में आपको एग्जाम में पूछा जाता है तो इतना सफिशिएंट है लिखने के लिए, लेकिन मैं आपको रफ आइडिया दे रहा हूँ कि मिनिमम वाला पोर्शन कैसे आप प्रूव करेंगे. सी एफ इज बाउंडेड, ये मुझे दिया हुआ है. बाउंड कंटिन्यूअस है, इंप्लाइज क्या हो जाएगा, बाउंडेड हो जाएगा अकॉर्डिंग टू प्रीवियस रिजल्ट। तो मैक्सिमम सुप्रीमम और इन्फीमम एग्जिस्ट होगी। सो लेट मी टेक स्मॉल m इक्वल टू GLB और इन्फीमम ऑफ fx, ठीक है। So assume that here I want to show that f at ends is minimum, so I want to find out some element c from AB so that m equal to f of c. Suppose if possible m is strictly less than fx। यहाँ से आप एक चीज तो कह सकते हैं कि m less than or equal to fx for every x belongs to AB। अगर मैं यहाँ पे assume कर लेता हूँ m is less than fx, then I will get some contradiction। ओके, so again आपको देखिए यहाँ से क्या मिलेगा, fx माइनस m क्या होगा, और m माइनस fx लेस देन 0 होगा, और fx माइनस स्मॉल m दिस इज ग्रेटर देन 0। फिर से डिफाइन करेंगे आप न्यू फंक्शन g। gx क्या लेंगे आप, मुझे पता नहीं है m माइनस f लेना है या f माइनस m लेना है। लेट अस सी किससे काम होता है, देख लेते हैं। अकॉर्डिंगली वी विल चेंज हियर m माइनस f और f माइनस m। ठीक है, समझ में आ रहा है अभय?
यस सर।
तो ये कंटिन्यूस होगा g और वेल डिफाइंड भी होगा। सो इट इज
हाँ सर।
बाउंडेड continuous function on closed interval is bounded, so it is also bounded below. So let me say there exists let us say k less than or equal to gx, modulus of gx, or you can, there no need to write modulus since k is positive, और there exists k, और यहाँ पे ये भी पॉजिटिव है इसलिए कोई लिखने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, लेकिन यहाँ पे आप बता सकते हैं कि दिस इज ट्रू फॉर ऑल x। देखिए ये क्या हो जाएगा, k लेस देन और इक्वल टू fx। now therefore fx clear, less than or equal to 1 by k। now bring m on right side, so now look at this, m is positive, sorry k is positive, so 1 upon k is positive, so m plus, and this is true for all x belongs to, what does this mean, this 1 by k plus m, I think I have made one mistake। okay, what should I take, see here this becomes upper bound, I want lower bound, so I think I should take here m minus f। समझ में आ रहा है क्या लेना चाहिए मुझे? भाई
यस सर।
m माइनस एफ या f माइनस एम, m माइनस एफ क्या हो जाएगा, नेगेटिव हो जाएगा। ठीक है, यहाँ से बता सकते हैं कि m माइनस एफ एक्स दिस इज लेस देन 0, लेकिन ये नॉन ज़ीरो तो होगा, ये तो तय है। और ये बाउंडेड एबो भी लिख सकते हैं, बाउंडेड बाय बिलो बाय 0, तो बाउंडेड एबो यहाँ से ऐसे भी लिख सकते हैं आप, ऐसा ज़रूरी नहीं है m माइनस एफ एक्स लो या एफ एक्स माइनस एम, आई थिंक दोनों चलेंगे। देखिए अगर मैं यहाँ ऐसे भी लिख सकता हूँ जी एक्स मीन्स एफ एक्स माइनस एम एक्स लेते हैं तो क्या होता है, देखिए ये लेके चलते हैं, ये यही चलेगा, ठीक है, यहाँ पे कोई चेंज करने की जरूरत नहीं है, ये दिस विल वर्क। Okay. Since f is continuous, g is continuous, therefore it is bounded. So we can find out some k for which this is true. And this is true for all x. Now bring m on left side. Now look at this. What does this mean? M plus 1 upon k is lower bound of this set. And m, what is the relation between 1 by k plus m and 1? This is always bigger than m, but m is GLB. So this is a contradiction. समझ में आ रहा है? देखिए, मुझे पता नहीं था कि प्रूफ मुझे कैसे लिखनी चाहिए, लेकिन मैंने यहाँ से स्केच कर ली प्रूफ। देखिए आप, पता है, ये मुझे ये भी पता नहीं था कि आई शुड टेक एफ एक्स माइनस एम और एम माइनस एफ एक्स, बट इफ आई टेक एफ एक्स माइनस एम देन इट बिकम्स बाउंडेड बाय के एंड नाउ दिस विल वर्क। एम इज CLB। समझ में आया?
Yes, sir.
तो आपको नोटबुक में जब लिखेंगे ना आप अपनी, तो ये अच्छे हिसाब से लिखना है। मैंने तो देखिए रफ आइडिया आपको दे दिया कि तो ऐसे ऐसे करना है, ठीक है, लेकिन व्हेन यू राइट इन योर नोटबुक प्लीज राइट इन प्रॉपर मैनर। सो व्हाट्स द टाइम? 11:30 हो गए। फाइन, सो
Okay.
we stop our discussion here. Next time we will see very important result, intermediate value theorem. Okay, so it is very important result for examination purpose and as well as application purpose also it is important. So goodbye.
Goodbye, sir.